Anyegre of the St. Gregory Hospital. He is the administrator. I want to speak to him in relation to the explosion that took place on the Kasoa Cape Coast Highway. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here on the Morning Star.
Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you're well. Thank you. Thank you for joining us here on the Morning Star. So, first of all, how many people were brought to your facility in relation to this accident?
47 people were brought to my facility.
47?
Yes.
Out of the 47, how many people unfortunately lost their lives?
Out of the 47, 3 died. They died on arrival.
Okay.
We referred 3. We referred 4. 2 to 37 and 2 to Winnipeg Former Hospital.
Okay. So 2...
Yes.
You referred those 4 because they are in critical condition?
Yes, head injury.
Head injuries?
Yes.
For all the 4?
No. 2 that were referred to 37 were head injuries. 2 that were referred to Winnipeg Former Hospital were fractures on the leg.
Just on the leg. Okay. And so 3 people unfortunately have passed on. 4 have been referred. 2 out of them head injuries, the other 2 fractures in the leg. What about the remaining individuals? What is their state and how are they faring this morning?
This morning they are stable, responding very well to treatment. I'm sure we'll be discharging, or some other have been discharged already. Some were discharged yesterday. So that is the state of affairs.
Has the hospital witnessed anything of such magnitude before?
No, this is the first of its time.
And I'm sure by now family members would be trooping the facility to know who, if any relative of theirs have been affected by it.
Of course, yes. Since yesterday, what we talk up to now. Now there's peace. There's an order now. There was total chaos, confusion yesterday. But thankful to the police and fire service who came to ensure order. So those who are remaining, the numbers are significantly reduced. There's order. They have listed them. We ask them to give us space so that we can work. So we are okay now.
You're okay now, okay.
Yeah.
Initially, the place was heavily packed because everybody wanted to get answers.
Yes.
It was chaotic, huh? So, yeah. And in relation to those that are left at the facility, you mentioned that some of them were discharged yesterday, some of them too, you are hoping to discharge them yesterday. In relation to those individuals, what is the nature of the injuries they suffered?
Some had cuts that we have to suture, the heads on the legs, some chest pains, a variety of injuries and complaints. So, as I said, there were about 3 or 4 of them. They still have minor head injuries which we're managing. Some it's about their legs, their hands, some it's about their back. So it's just, a variety of injuries that we are dealing with. And that's a thing. Our team is doing well. Everybody's in stable condition.
Okay. Everybody's in stable condition at the moment. And who is footing the bill?
For now, the hospital is expensing everything from our stocks. Because who will you really ask to bring money to under these circumstances? We're only compiling, all the expenses we are doing, our medicines, our consumables, everything. We are only compiling the list and the expenses we are making. We'll see at the end of the day, I'm sure the police, for example, have asked that we should make sure each and everyone fills the police form.
Okay.
That's a cost somewhere. So I'm sure at the end of the day, there must be compensation to them. Then we also present the bill to whoever caused this disaster. But for now, the hospital is putting everything.
Okay. And we really do appreciate that at least you're taking that upon yourself, and subsequently we hope that cost will be reimbursed. Is the hospital anywhere close to where this incident happened?
Yes, it's close because we are not far from the road. Yes, it's just a walking distance. It's less than 2 minutes walking distance. It's close.
Less than 2 minutes walking distance.
Yes, yes,
And
very
and
close.
from what the eyewitnesses say, from time to time the explosion is done, but this is the first time it has caused this. It's wreaked such havoc on the area. If you are around that area, what time usually is this explosion done?
So I've seen a couple of explosions being done, control one, mostly in the night. But I see that couple of times the police will block the road, and then later around 7, 8 in the night they'll do it. But this particular one, the time and the magnitude, it was uncontrolled. At the time, 12 o'clock, when people are busily, moving about their business. So I think it was the magnitude. The explosion was too huge that caused people were far away in their houses. Somebody sleeping in his house, the stone went and cracked the head through the roof. So you can imagine the magnitude of it. It was just something that, we can't say now unless the investigation comes up. I don't know. So that's the case of it.
And at the moment, so what is significantly different with this particular explosion was that the magnitude was bigger or higher, and it was done at a time where it was a busy environment at that time.
Busy, a peak period of the day, 12:30 thereabouts. People are moving about their normal business, and even from the police accounts, when they told them that they should block so that they would do that explosion, less than 30 minutes time, they didn't even inform the police before they realized the explosion had taken place. So people might have not even, if you have given warning, people might have not evacuated.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. I'm not there. I'm only saying what
the police did tell you.
Yeah.
So do we know whether, for instance, you mentioned that the police has been to the hospital at least to do some assessment in relation to those who were brought there. Do we know whether some parts of the road has been cordoned off, among others? Anything of that nature has happened? Are you aware of anything has been done?
This morning I passed there. I think it's open traffic. There's a free flow
of traffic.
Yes. So the no part is cordoned off. So the harm has already been caused. So the road is left free for people to pass.
Okay. All right then. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to us. We're grateful for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. You heard us speak to Mr. Mathias Anyegre. He's a St. Gregory Hospital Administrator. They received 47 people. Unfortunately, 3 people have died, and 4 have been referred, 2 to 37, and then the other 2 to the Winneba Trauma Hospital as well. And a good number of those who are left, they are in stable condition. They are hoping to discharge a lot more of them today. Some of them were discharged yesterday. But what is critical is that, yes, these explosions happen, but usually what they have observed is that it happens at night and it is controlled. This time around, it appears as though it was not controlled and the magnitude was way higher because people that were far off from where the explosion happened were even affected. To that particular situation where someone in their home had his head crushed after one of the a stone from the explosion went through the roof and crashed his head. Like, this is the most bizarre things ever. And you wonder why people would do things and not take into account the likely impact it will have. There's a process that is followed in terms of these explosions, from what the medical administrator tells us. Usually it is done at night. It is more controlled, and usually the police will be informed and they will cordon off and they'll warn people to clear off. This time around, within 30 minutes, before everything was done, then the explosion goes out. And the magnitude is even higher than what they usually would do. there has to be some consequences for this. Definitely has to be some consequences. People cannot continuously do these things and get away with them. It is highly unacceptable. It's a Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM. Very soon, we'll bring you what is trending on social media. Etonam Kumashi will be joining me in the studio, but it's definitely a problem when these things continue to happen with no consequences. In fact, that was not the song I was looking for to play. The song I'm looking for is a song from Bob Marley. I don't know how come this one was the one that popped up with regard to what I really have on my mind in relation to this particular issue. Why is it that people keep doing things that put others at risk? Etanam Kumashi will be joining me shortly with what is trending.